What is going on, guys? Today I have for you guys top 5 SMGs for Rebirth. Obviously our last ones were for Warzone, but today we'll be talking about Rebirth. Very dominant SMGs, especially when it comes to close range. Let's get right into it. So for the first one, today we have the CX9. Now this did get a buff recently, and it is very, very good at close range. But we'll be going first with a monolithic suppressor, no barrel. We'll also be going with the tac laser for aim stability. You could go as well with the 5 milliwatt. That is also an option if you want a little bit more hip fire. That is a totally fine option. They're kind of more interchangeable, but I like the tac laser for myself just because of aim stability. Gets sometimes a little bit wild. Magazine, we're going with a 50 round drum here, and then we will also be going with the CXFR stock. Gives you movement speed, aim down sight speed, things you definitely need in Rebirth. And for the perk, we'll be going with sleight of hand. Fastest reloads I think you'll ever see from a gun in Rebirth, and it's constant 50 round every like minute. It's pretty insane, honestly. But yeah, that's the CX9 for you. And yeah, it's very good. Like I said, very good close range, can compete with pretty much most of the other dominant SMGs. And yeah. Okay, so next I have the Type 100 as a little bit of a kind of curveball. I don't think it really got any changes, but it is very noticeable in close range as a very good gun. So first off, we're gonna be going with the recoil booster, normal Vanguard attachment there. For barrel, there are a few options. Now for me, I prefer the Sakura 282 wrap. I think that's the best so far. It does hurt your damage range a little bit, but you're not really looking for range in Rebirth. You know, you're getting those close to semi-mid fights, especially with an SMG. Does no enemy skulls and firing visibility, but it's not really that big of a deal. You could go maybe for the Sakura 196, but the recoil control does go down a lot. Another option, I would say second up or runner up of the wrap for me personally would probably be the 134 rapid. The only reason I don't really choose this is the control gets a little bit out of hand for me, so I kind of just stick with the wrap for my choice. But you definitely can go with the rapid if that feels better for you as well. Underbarrel, I would be going here with the M1941 hand stop. Best, honestly, underbarrel that there is for this gun. Good control. Magazine, you're going to be going with a 30 Russian short 36 round. Could go 48, but I mean, I think the 36 round's perfect. The damage output is a lot better, and the TTK is very good close range with that mag. For ammunition, I would go subsonic here. I think that's, you know, the number one thing to go here, considering you don't really need lengthen since you're already close. For optic, personally, I would go with slate reflector, like I've said before. Stock here, I would go with the Shirashi T100. Horizontal recoil is big with this gun, so I would say that is a plus, especially with this stock. And aim down sight speed as well is very good for those close range fights. Rear grip, I would say go with hatched here. You get recoil control plus the flinch, so no negatives there. Perk 1, I would go acrobat for that movement and sprint move speed. Gotta move fast in Rebirth. And for perk 2, I would go quick, more sprint speed. So basically you're just a fast demon. But yeah, very good close range gun, can compete very well with the other weapons. And yeah, it's a T100. Next up, we have the PPSH, no doubt about an addition here. Yeah, pretty much just copy and pasting most of the Warzone setup here. So yeah, barrel or recoil booster again. Barrel, going with that Kovalask or whatever the hell you say it, 230 BO3. Underbarrel, Carver, I think is the best one to go here. Magazine, still going that 64. Optic, you could go slate reflector. That's my personal preference, but I also found that the ISO 3-piece is a very good alternative option for iron sight wise, if you guys want to try that out. So that's also a very, very good option, I would say. And remove stock as a stock. Rear grip, we're going to be going with pine tar. A little bit of a copy and paste. Actually, probably is copy and paste from our Warzone setup, but still very, very good here in Rebirth. Ammunition, we'll be going with lengthened here. again. And perk 1, I'll be going with tight grip, gives you a little extra control during that sustained fire. And perk 2, I'll be going with quick again, sprint speed. You can never go wrong with that. So yeah, there you go, PPSH, very, very good. As you've seen in Warzone, the Warzone setup, it's very good, and it's even better, I think, in Rebirth, considering you're a lot more closer up, so the TTK is even faster than in Warzone. So yeah. Okay, so no surprise again, we do have the Blixen coming back into Rebirth. It's a very dominant gun, obviously, throughout, like I've even mentioned, even in Warzone or Caldera. But starting off, you know, we got recoil booster, just like before, barrel. Like I've said before, there's a few options you could do. Carlson's very good, but I think the Johnson RMK is better overall between all these. I mean, you could go for the Burgerstrom as well for that extra length, but I feel like that works. You can get away with that more in Caldera than you can a little bit in Rebirth, because it kind of limits your mobility just a little bit. But yeah, the Johnson I think is the best overall. Underbarrel, going to go with Carver. Optic, Slay Reflector I believe is the best overall. But you can, that's personal preference. Magazine, the 54 Gorenkos, very, very good, especially since they got that little bit of a buff. Ammunition here, you could go lengthen like in our Warzone build, but I would say probably subsonic, just because there's a lot of fights going on around you, obviously in the very small quarters map. Rear grip, I would say go again with the taped, still very good overall. Stock will be going with the removed again. Max mobility doesn't really affect accuracy that much. This gun's pretty much a laser all across the board. Perk 1, you could go Perfectionist here like we did in our Warzone setup, but I think that Fleet might work here just a little bit better, considering you need to be moving a lot, and also put quick on again. But yeah, Fleet I would say is a little better than running Perfectionist in or at least matters a little more than running Perfectionist in Rebirth. So yeah, Blixen, like I said, very good, very dominant, competes very well with the other guns, one of the top guns right now, SMG wise. And yeah, there's the Blix. And with no doubt about it, we have the MP40 coming back, one of the most dominant SMGs right now in the game. It's very, very, very good TTK wise. So we're wrapping it up here with recoil booster, obviously. Barrel, going with the short, just like our Warzone setup. Underbarrel, I would go with skeletal here. You can go hand stop if you would like, but I think skeletal overall is a little better. Magazine, we'll be going with the 45 Gorenkos. I think that's the best overall. And ammunition, like I said before, you can go lengthen like the Warzone setup, but I think subsonic you benefit a little bit more in Rebirth rather. Optic, totally up to you guys, but I advise Slay Reflector, best one over there. For rear grip, we'll be going with taped, movement speed, aim stability, perfect. Perk 1, we did have, like I said before in the last gun, that Perfectionist you wouldn't really have too much benefit, but here you don't really have Fleet, or you don't have Fleet. You could go unmarked, but I just think Perfectionist would work good here. And quick, I would go again there. And stock, I'm gonna go with the 33M folding, movement speed, and sprint to fire. Perfect for right there. But yeah, that's the MP40. Very good, like I said. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to smash that like button, tap that subscribe button if you guys are new, and hit that notification button so you guys know when I post a new video. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.